Actually, that's exactly what we do. The question was, so, yeah.
How would you see my talk at 5?
Yeah. Let me answer. I already pitched your talk at 5. For those of you who came in late, a lot of the specifics and the nuts and bolts of applying, trying to apply for project status under the Hacker Foundation, sort of 501c3 in a box. Jesse at 5 o'clock, I believe in this room, is going to be giving a talk that covers more of the specific aspects. Oh, he's in the other room? I'm sorry. He's going to be at 5 o'clock in the other room. He's going to take you through the process of applying to the Hacker Foundation and so that you can try to get a lot of these advantages that we specifically set out to do. But to briefly answer your question, yes, that's what you do. You email us, you submit an application, and since we're plugged in with a lot of other different networks, both formally and informally, the first thing that we'll try to do is see, okay, well, where can you get exempt status from here? What sort of advantages under the federal code can we provide you with right away? But beyond that, just legal and tax expertise is not the only thing that the Hacker Foundation does. That we have people, throughout the world. We've got people in England, we've got people in East Asia, we have people here in the United States, we've got people here in Canada. And through a lot of the formal and informal networks that we have, we can link you with other developers, maybe that aren't seeking specific status, but we can at least plug you into different communities where you can get more of the help and more of the advice that you need. Because I know even just filtering through all of the different open source projects that are out there, just all of the crap that's on SourceForge, Freshmeat, and it's hard to find, okay, well, these guys are kind of doing what I'm doing, but they've got a different development branch. I'm more Linux-based, they're more BSD-based. There's a lot of political infighting, which is another thing that the hacker, I don't want to get into that too much, but I think that as a research community, we really need to stop with all the politics and the political infighting. We all have a common goal, that just because your development branch broke off from my development branch 3 splits ago does not mean that we can't work together. And just when you go back home, just sort of think about how you can work together instead of, how can I get my camp over this other camp? Because that's not helping anybody. But when you apply with the Hacker Foundation, getting back to your question, in addition to the support, both on the tax side and both on the code side, or federal code side, we do try to link all of our researchers and put them together and try to help them work together. Because it's really lonely out there being an independent developer. Even if we can just hook you up with one other person that's doing one other thing that's very targeted to what you're doing, that's a tremendous help that we've found. And that's another thing we do. A lot of other things we do are branding and marketing. Maybe you're not the best person at putting together a flashy web page. We have people that help you do that, in a simple way. We help you get the PayPal donation button set up and to try to, see what your informal network is right now. How can you formalize that? How can you get more donations out of the people that want to help you, but can't because of that administrative barrier that they have both, in their grant funding organizations and in their corporations. All right, how am I doing on? Okay, I got just a couple minutes left. Anybody else have any specific questions or even questions about things that, yeah, Froggy.
Nick, a lot of what you said has really resonated with me, especially using wage income to run projects, basically what I do at Nauticon.
Dude, I have no idea why you elected S-Corp status. That was a dumb idea, but...
Well, shit happens.
Okay.
But I guess my question is, can that be changed? Do you think there would be any advantage to more conferences like Nauticon and others out there working under the Hacker Foundation to get 501c3 status, to be able to take donations and grants so that we can run these events without worrying about how I'm going to afford my mortgage next month?
No, that's one of the things that actually we're working on for a project, which I can't really talk about right now, is how can we get sort of hackathons funded? How can we bring a lot of people who are developing in all different parts of the world, get them together in one place where they can get face-to-face networking so that they can actually look at code on each other's screens, get things together and actually talk in real time, face-to-face, and working things better. And that's one of the projects that we're working on, is how can we bring developers who are developing in all these different parts of the globe and get them to meet each other, in a lot of cases for the first time face-to-face without breaking the bank. And that there are a lot of, it's a really sort of fuzzy gray area in the tax code, but there are advantages out there, especially in the nonprofit sphere, and there's actually grant funding in a lot of ways that even universities will sometimes pick up the tabs if you can bring independent researchers in to talk with the researchers that are there at the universities. And there are a lot of really cheap conference spaces and a lot of really cheap flights and ways to travel, especially when you book in groups or have group code booking, that just aren't available to the public, that we're developing as a foundation to try to get people working more together. You know, we don't throw cons, that's more your expertise, but when it comes to small conferences and getting developers together, that's one of the things that we're working on and trying to make available to the community.
I realize that my strength is the logistics of pulling this off, but the business side has always been a real challenge. And I know there's a better way to do it, so maybe by working together we can figure out a way to...
And that's exactly it. And that's why we're here to not only serve you, but to try to bring you together with other people that can, you know, better serve you, to try to build a better community. That's why we started the Hacker Foundation. You know, we're here specifically, we are here for this community. If there's things that you want us to do that we're not doing, come and tell us, and we'll try to do them. You know, we've got an incredible talent pool on our board. We have a lot of people that are in the community that are actively working with us, and we're not project or focus specific. You know, like I said, we aren't the EFF. We're not the Hacker Defense Fund. We don't have one specific idea in mind. We're here to try to be as representative a body for the community and try to get the community some respect in the outside world that it's deserved for a long time. But because, you know, hackers are hackers specifically because they don't, you know, work perfectly well in the outside world and know exactly how things flow, you know, in all the various different complicated political arenas, that, you know, we're here to try to be that bridge for the community. And that we're here to try to represent you. I'm not up here saying, you know, I know everything. I don't claim to speak for the hacker community. What I try to do is represent your interests and do those things like that. And I just want to give a quick disclaimer. I am not a CPA yet. I sit for the exam in July. Don't take any of this as tax or legal advice that's actionable, that I strongly recommend. That until you're working with the Hacker Foundation officially, don't take anything I've said and use that to go about filling out your tax returns. Speak with a qualified legal or tax representative before you make any actionable decisions. Oh crap, you didn't stop recording right then and there in the middle of me saying that, did you? Okay, now I think, Froggy, do I have time for just one more question if someone has it out there?
Sure, why not?
Okay. Anybody have one more?
Will you do my taxes?
No. No, I'm still doing a lot of my clients' taxes. That's why I was only able to spend a couple minutes at the party, 522 last night. Again, if you have any other questions, maybe you're a little bit nervous to talk in front of a crowd. Jesse, could you stand up real quickly? You know, Jesse Krems is here. He's going to be talking at 5 in the other room. I'm available all throughout the con if you have simple questions about your project or what you'd like to try to do, or things that you think the Hacker Foundation should be doing. Please come talk to me. Also, we have 2 members of our board here. William, will you stand up? William Knowles, he runs InfoSec News, c4i.org. He's on our board. And Curiosity, he's here, curiosity.org. He's also Christian Wright. He's also on our board. Thank you very much. It's been a good time. Enjoy the rest of Nauticon.